Hello, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody out there, YouTube land. This is Moz coming to you with another episode of Toy Photography Talk. Tonight, we're going to have Cinematoygrapher on. Of course, he's my co-host for all intents and purposes. And 1/6 shooter is going to return, so that's going to be awesome. He's running a minute or two late, but he said he's going to be here. Awesome news. Awesome. So yeah, guys, we got some great stuff for you today. I did an entire behind the scenes video for my latest Batman shot, and actually I'm gonna let that run when we go to talk about it. It's like 15 minutes long, and we're just gonna let it run, and you guys will get to check it out first like that. So it's be kind of cool. And then later on, I'll probably make it its own video. What's going on, Loco Lu? What's going on, Ben? What's going on, JC? How you guys doing today? What's poppin', as Lou will say. Yeah, man, so it's gonna be a great show. Let me show you guys real quick. This is an example of one of the wallpapers that I'm going to be providing. What's up, H Green? I'm going to start providing wallpapers with your membership subscriptions. If you subscribe to the channel as a member, this is one that I'm working on. It's still got a little bit more touches, a little bit more touching to do to it. I got to touch it some more. So that's always fun, but we will share that real quick. And this is currently a wallpaper on this monitor here. I think I want to play with the colors a little bit, make it a little bit more poppy, because on Instagram it displays one way, and then as a wallpaper it displays another. But yeah, I'm really digging this. This is my most recent shot of the Batman being stalked by an alien, and we're going to break this shot down later on tonight. We're going to have the full behind the scenes. So guys, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Please like, comment if you're watching this on the rewind, of course. Very much appreciate it. And yeah, at the moment we're just kind of holding our fort here for Cinematoygrapher and 1/6 shooter. There's one of them. Harry, what's going on?
How's it going, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Sounds good. Yes, everything sounds good.
Sweet. Dude, I'm stoked, man. Trevor said he's coming back. I'm happy.
Awesome. Sounds good.
I'm ecstatic. We got H Green in the house, Ben, Loco Lu,
H Green,
JC. We just flag all these people here. It's pretty awesome. So Harry,
how's it going, Loco?
I was telling you that I was looking at maybe doing these wallpapers as like membership things, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You don't. I'm not saying it's necessary, but I'm just asking, would you like to throw any of your shots in as well?
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I think
it's up to you.
Shots. Yeah,
I have nothing to give you right now.
No, it's fine. I'd be willing to. A lot of people have been asking me for just background shots, and I have a few that I think would be worthy of that. So
sweet.
Loco Lu, what's up, man?
But I was just showing them, the image, the one that I've been working on. I think I need to recolor grade this though for the wallpaper.
The Batman shot.
Yeah, the Batman shot. I think it needs to be a bit more punchy, and it's kind of more flat.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'll play with it and see what I like. Whether
I love the way it looks though, like with the letterbox. So cinematic.
Yes. Thank you for that letterbox, dude. I could not. So
yeah, it's misleading.
We'll go back to this real quick.
Yeah.
So I was asking Harry, I was like, how do you letterbox your images, right? And he's like, I just use a PNG with a transparent background, and I just throw it in there. And I'm like, cool. And I go to Google PNG with the letterbox effects, and I get them. They're all labeled as PNGs, but none of them are technically transparent black backgrounds. And I'm like, dang it, just give me yours, man.
Yeah, a lot of them has the checker box thing, and usually that means that it's transparent. But when you download it, it's there.
Now it's showing you there in the picture, but it's not. It's like, dude. But I was thinking about maybe punching this out more, making it a bit more vibrant. I don't know. Maybe a couple.
I love the way this looks.
Yeah, so. Maybe a couple options. I don't know, but I recorded the making of this, and it's like a 15-minute long video, and we're gonna have like a little intermission for us. We can of course comment and talk and chat, but it's gonna play at some point when we break this down, because I thought it'd be the best way to do it. I'm like in the mix, doing it and getting it done. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, what do you got? So what do you got going on this week, man? Did you get any shots in this week?
I haven't yet. I've been working a lot this week, so I got like 2 gigs 2 days ago. So I was just been doing a lot of work, but I should be free this week, so I'll try and get a few shots going. I bought what you recommended actually, some cork rolls here.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get this painted up, and I'm gonna try and set up a little scene with that.
Another thing that I forgot to mention when I do that, just to give it a bit more texture, I also threw in some of this.
Oh,
it's just
that's
black
probably a
sand.
good idea. Black sand. Okay.
And just raises. If you're gonna do anything close to the ground, you want the little textury, grainy, because usually little pebbles and stuff on the asphalt. This is pretty cool. I wouldn't mix it in with your paint if you're gonna do this. What I would do is, between your paint and your final finish layer, where you put the gloss coat on top of it, you want to lay this down and then gloss coat the entire thing. So that way it's going to adhere to the board.
Okay. I see. I was going to ask, do you need any glue? But I guess
that with that coat, because you're going to use a Mod Podge. You're going to use a gloss Mod Podge as your finisher. And it just put that on top of that, and it's going to help keep all that down. And you don't put a whole lot on here. I mean, just sparse little sprinkles. You just want just a little bit. This is not
just some
barely
texture
on there. Just a little bit of texture. Let's see what we got going on in the chat here. We're waiting for Trevor here. Loco Savage Lu, you wizard. Did I miss a wizard? I don't know. What do you got there? Oh man. You know what I realized? Let me know when you're done with that, because I got all the way. There's Trevor. Cool. What's up, Trevor? How you doing?
Hey guys.
There's
so hairy that I realized I sat down with an empty drink. So.
Oh, bummer. I didn't bring a drink. I just had some coffee, so I'm wired. I don't want to start drinking alcohol yet. Anyway, wasn't that bad a day. So
that's for later.
Exactly. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Trevor?
Good. Cool. I'm doing good.
Man. That's good. That's good to hear.
What are you drinking there?
Me or Moz?
No, Moz.
I'll meet Diet Mountain Dew, man.
Oh, Diet Mountain Dew.
Nothing too dangerous, just all the caffeine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I only got 4 hours of sleep this morning. The dogs wanted to make sure I got up, even though I went to bed at 5:30. They want to make sure I was up by 9. Jeez. So that wasn't pleasant. I wasn't happy. I was cursing the creators. Dude, what are you doing? Trevor, do you have any shots you'd like to talk about that you did this week, man? I love that Nosferatu shot. I don't know how old that was, but you uploaded the video not too long ago.
Yeah, it's a new shot. I haven't posted it yet. I could. I think I can. I'd have to do it. But I did the Doctor Strange shot. I mean, that's not a.
Yeah, that's right.
That's on Instagram. If you want to.
Yeah, we'll
pull that up. While I'm looking for this, I got to see if I can even find this. But yeah, I did. I finally got that video. I think I was talking about editing last time I was on the show. Done, which is ridiculous how long that takes. Getting a little faster at it, but it's a lot of work.
That's right. I forgot. I checked out this Doctor Strange one earlier. Let's bring this up here. All right, so you posted this one to the world yesterday, right?
Wow.
Yeah, to the world.
And this is a Black Series, or not Black Series, the Marvel Legends Doctor Strange.
Yes. Marvel Legends Doctor Strange just came out. And I'm not like a big Legends guy, but like I mean I got a lot of them, God knows, but it's just like I just never really, I don't know, I just don't think to shoot them. There's so many people doing superheroes stuff that just do it. I don't know. I'm not saying they're just better at setting up the shots. I think. I don't know. I struggle with the Marvel stuff because I want to do like scenes. I don't know. I just like to come up with my own stuff, and then I feel like if I'm doing something that's not canon or something, that I'm going to get called out. But whatever. Anyway, I just don't shoot it a lot. I don't know why. I just don't have the inclination. But I opened up this thing straight out of the box. I started posing it, and I'm like, I love this thing. This is a cool figure. I mean, I hate the cape. I hate that the cape is static and you can't take it off because I'd love to put a wired cape on there. But it's still it just looks great, classic Strange. And it's, I actually got it into a cross-legged pose, which is, hey, H Green, what's going on, man? Which I was like, all right, if I can get into this pose, I'm totally doing this shot. So
Yeah,
And,
It's a good looking pose, man. And we got the BTS here back here. You got your Loom Cubes here in the front, and a little homemade thing to control your fog there. A little homemade.
it's a little hose connected to the fog machine to
wow.
keep it under control.
I need to do that
because those things blow around like crazy. Depending on the size you get, like I usually get the bigger ones because I just don't want to fill it all the time, and they're cheaper, and I run through them like once a year because I burn them out. But this one's lasted surprisingly long. Surprised it's not burnt out, because if you're using the hose, some of the liquid tends to drip back in, and it's not totally attached to the nozzle, which is sometimes a problem. It'll fall off, and then there's fog everywhere. But I just have it in like a drip pan so that all that crap goes into the. But some of it inevitably runs back into the machine and destroys the machine eventually. So.
Yeah, I haven't hooked a funnel up to mine yet to do any of that, because what I understand, you want to hook a funnel and then hook a hose up to that, and that way you can control it. I haven't done that. I just kind of let it blow.
Right.
What I do is I got a stopper on the other side, because mine's a hazer, so I got a stopper on the other side.
Oh,
just kind of keeps all the haze there.
Right.
But I was telling Harry, I filmed my entire. It was a post filming. I've already taken that Batman shot that I posted. But I went back and I filmed the whole process as if I hadn't done it. Of course, I didn't shoot anything, but I went over the steps and everything. And I think I've nailed getting that light glow thing. Oh, cool!
Oh yeah,
okay.
Cool. Nice.
Well, I realized something, and I'm going to go over it when I play that. But I realized something, that if you get too much haze or whatever in there, it starts to bleach out everything else. So you lose that light beam because everything else is getting reflected back at the camera too.
Or you got to have very little other light there. You know what I mean? Like if you've got a completely dark set and you've got one, like I said, like in that one where the beam was coming through that contained small window. I mean, that was the brightest light in that whole shot, and one of the few areas of light in that shot. So it took to it. So that's what you got to do. Oh yeah, so this is it. Yeah, this is the Nosferatu shot.
So 1/6 figure focus. How you doing today? And Trevor, by the way, I know you have this up on your channel, so I don't want you to totally spoil them. Let's make them go to your channel too. But just give them a little, just whet their appetite a little bit with this.
So what I've been doing is these shooting reviews, which I thought would be a lot faster to do, but they're not. I just get involved. So. Anyway, what I'm trying to do is do a quick overview of the figure, what you get in it. I'm not doing the amazing level, articulation stuff and all that stuff. I mean, I might go over that a little bit more, looking back at them now. But then I really just want to tell you what you get, put it on the table, set it up with a shot, and really it's more about the shot and learning some stuff through there, because it is a toy photography channel. Take the shot. This time I actually went through some editing. I don't always do that, but I've been trying to because more and more people are asking me about Lightroom and Photoshop editing, as much as they're asking me about the table setups and stuff like that. So did a little bit of that, and then show how the shot's made, and then come back and give the figure a score, 1 out of 6, of course. And this one got a 6, man. It's a good figure. It's a really, really nice figure. I mean, the first one was great. I think this has even got, it doesn't come with the coffin that the first one came with, which was a nice accessory, but it's got these wolves and bats and rats and a lot of cool heads and stuff.
That big cloak, right? That big cloak. The
big cloak and the hat, 3 heads. I mean, for $90, if you could get it, this is the one that they released at midnight or something. It was supposed to be midnight, but it didn't go actually live until 1:15, and people were clicking, and I managed to get one. So it's really nice. It's really nice.
It's fetching $250 now, so I'm hoping that maybe I'll find a score or something.
They'll come out with another one.
I got the first one, and I just want the accessories really from this one. I just want the particularly the cloak and the wolves and the bat and the of course more rats, because you always
the good thing is they part those out. You can get them on eBay. The bad thing is when you add it all up, it's like you're probably going to pay $90 for the rats and the wolves and the cloak. You know what I mean? But if that's all you want, then at least you're not spending $250 on the figure. So.
Yeah. Loco Lu is saying, sorry.
Buy it and sell it. You know what I mean? Buy it and sell it.
Yep.
Loco Lu said, Trevor, your shots are inspiring as always. Seen it on ACBA. So
thanks, Lou.
ACBA.
I know Lou. Yeah, I know Lou from ACBA. Yeah.
And then JC, of course, loves the shot. So that's thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Thanks. Well, it's your shot. I'll let you thank them.
You can thank them.
I'll thank them.
Thanks.
Yeah, this went through for commenting. You can thank them.
Yeah, exactly, for being here. I went through like 3 rounds. I kind of like show that in this too. Like I went back to the table like 3 or 4 times with this thing and reshot and moved lights around. And sometimes when you do that, I don't know, F something up, say. Yeah. And at one point, I kind of lost the light behind him in the room, and another point, I kind of lost some light on the bat. So it just shows you, man, it's not all like, it doesn't all just come.
I was actually surprised about your lighting choice behind him because the light's hitting the top of the window arch and not the bottom. Well, I guess they don't have overhead lighting in that kind of day.
Right, I'm thinking a candlelight. I'm thinking a candle on a table or a lantern or something like that. Yeah.
I'm
and really the focus of it. Yeah. Well, I mean, it wouldn't really probably, I mean, I don't even know if it was a modern setting or I don't know if you'd have the same situation with the arch and but either way, I probably would have done it that anyway, because if you're shooting low, you wouldn't see much of that. I mean, maybe you'd see it on the side of the window, but anyway, it's contrast with the blue, the orange and the blue opposites on the color wheel.
Oh yeah.
Get that going. So, I wish I did. I showed in the video, I showed you how to take out the wires. Now that's totally not ACBA compliant, but, in Photoshop, but it is, I mean, sometimes there's just, you got to do it. I did it with the strange shot too. And there's a really easy way to do it. And I show you how to do that. I didn't do that with all the bats, and I don't usually do it because I'm good enough with the tools in Photoshop that I can pretty much take it out and stuff. But there is a nice, easy way to do that. So if you've been wondering how to do that, watch
he goes over that all in the video and really well. Actually, I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. But see, I'm the same problem. I always forget to go back and shoot that clean shot.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's not even a laziness. It's like I know I can take this stuff out in Photoshop. It's going to take me twice as long, but I know I can do it. And I do explain it in the video that I use when you're using the fog. From shot to shot, it's going to be different. So even the density of the fog. So if you try and do that, and then you try and take a shot that matches up with the shot that you're eventually going to use as your main shot, let's say. I had all the bats in place and then I wanted to go back and take the bats out and then I do the fog again. Well, it's not going to match the fog that's in the shot with the bats. Yeah. So if you take out that line, you're going to see, a difference between the density of the fog. And you're going to see where you masked that out. You're going to have to clean it up anyway. So at that point, I'm like, I may as well just clean it up by hand. So, but if you're not doing fog and you're not doing a variable like an explosion or fireworks or smoke or whatever, then it works perfectly. It's great. Yeah.
Those fog. In fact, I was talking about it in the behind the scenes for my Batman one as well with the fog, and because I go over it because I got this whole video. It's 15 minutes, so we're gonna have like a 15-minute of just playing this video where I'm talking and everything, and we can pause it. You just interject or something, and we'll pause it and talk about something that comes up. But I'm going over the process in that whole video. We'll be watching that, and I was making the same remarks about the tail because I got that motion blur on that tail. And of course, I have the haze in the scene, so it led to some choices that I had to make because I did it 2 different ways, and I ended up doing it the way you suggested the first time. It's just the problem that I had with moving it is the little. I need another set of hands basically because your suggestion was to move it, which is what I ended up doing. But I was also holding this makeshift grid over the light to get that break in the light, and then I need a hand to trigger the camera. So I'm like,
dude, I know your pain. I know your pain. I know. It's the same thing. Do you have a trigger for the camera, like my
phone
on the
trigger.
shoe? Oh, your phone. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not using. No, you're. Your phone will trigger your camera. Does
Yeah,
it do
it'll do the Canon app on the
continuous?
phone.
Can you do continuous shooting though with that, or set
Yeah,
it
I
up
can
for
hold down the
continuous
button
shooting?
and it'll just keep shooting. But I'm using
You
a
have to hold it
4-second
down,
shutter,
okay.
so
I have it automatically go even if I'm using a long shutter speed. It just shoots. That way I can free up the hand because I can't. I used to have to try and trigger stuff, and you're like one of those guys that's playing, like got the drum on his back and playing the horn and the cymbals on your knees. It's like it's freaking nuts. You know what I mean? Like, like you said, you're holding up a grid, you're trying to get the fog in the right place, then you're trying to move something, and it's nuts.
And it's
so
loosely a grid, if anything. I'm calling it a grid for lack of a better term. Okay.
Mhm.
Again, it's all we'll go over it all in the video when I
Gobo.
Gobo,
right? Yeah.
Just a goober. Yeah, it's a goober.
A goober.
But real quick tangent, man, because I'm sure we all want to touch on this a little bit. Have you seen the new Hot Toys Ahsoka?
Oh, yes. Of course.
Dude, that is fire, man. I was so worried about the head sculpt, even in the promo shots. I wasn't the one sold on any of the angles they had in the promo shots of the head sculpt. I was like, it doesn't look good enough for me to be close enough to the anime to make me happy. It looked kind of like just somebody. And but the ones the final, it looks awesome. It looks phenomenal.
I didn't look back at the promo shots to see if they made the eyes bigger, but I noticed that the irises or the pupils anyway of the eyes are big, and that gives it that anime look. I think it's a really good cross between. I know they're not trying to do Rosario Dawson, but it's almost like if you took Rosario Dawson and de-aged her a little bit and then crossed her with the cartoon. I think it's perfect. It looks really
great
good.
Settlement there. Just a great amalgamation of let's make that work, and they did. And I can't wait to get it.
Yeah, me too. I just got noticed that it's shipping now, so I got mine from Hong Kong. So yeah,
from where? I'm sorry,
from Hong Kong, from one of the toys dealers. I can't. I've switched them around so many times. Tried different people, and
H Green seems to think that I thought he was seriously going to pass on. You remember H Green when I commented with there was a laughing face. I put a laughing face reaction going. That was more like the sure, because there's not one for that. So that's what that laughing was. But anyway, I just want to clarify. I knew he wasn't going to pass on to the Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got a lot of shots to go over though. If you guys want us to go over your shots, constructive criticism, make sure if you have Instagram, hashtag Invadermoz, you can start doing that now if you haven't done that already. Or if you're in the Facebook group Moz's Toy Box, you can let me know that you put it in there, and I'll go find it in there as well. Because reasons, I'm not staring at that one right now because I got 3 other things going on. That's 3 too many. But while we do that, I wanted to go over somebody I started following the other day, and I'm going to have him on here because this guy shoots with his phone. And this is sick. So he's going to be on the stream sometime. But he shoots on his phone, and I was just floored. I mean, here's him.
I can't see the name, but I know who this is.
Oh, it's Mantumaru. Toumaru.
Okay.
But that's him with the pose and then the shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got a Mezco Batman with a custom head sculpt he's got there. So
that's cool.
But I was looking at this stuff today, and I was like, I want to get him in here because he shoots with his phone. Not a lot of people do that. That we talk to, but there's a lot of new people that start out that could use any and all help with the phone. I know Lou shoots with his phone. But this is a Spider-Man there.
Artbook cover.
So he's doing some filters and stuff with Photoshop as well, because he's got that kind of cartoony look with it. But I don't fault him. This one I love.
A classic.
That's your Mafex Batman, The Dark Knight, I think.
Now is he? It looks like he's compositing these right onto a background, I think.
I didn't really talk to him. I just wanted to make sure this was known because he's only got 35 followers, and I'm like, dude, you need.
Yeah, just looking at it, I mean, if you compare this to and then the Wolverine X-Men, he obviously composited it, but I mean that's a background, obviously. That's straight up. That's nice. That's really nice.
Some of his early stuff here. So that was it. That's all he's got. Oh, he's got one more.
Oh, he just started.
Yeah, he just started, and I just
new.
wanted to get him, some traction, man, because I was really digging what he's doing. Oh, this one.
See
didn't
that
show up.
shot? That was we were talking about a shot like that last week with it was going into the dark. It was somebody else that did a Batman. It was a good shot.
Oh,
Just thought that's what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go into that last one where he's got the Batman coming out of the dark there, that's a next one
here. Oh, the next one.
Next one, yeah.
This one here.
That one, yep. So that's what I'm talking about. Like he's emerging out of the dark, and there's a little bit of a light. Actually, no, he doesn't really have a rim light on that right-hand side, but it works. He's got enough of it in the light that it works. It's nice.
His light source is up this way, kind of up here.
Yep.
Because it's far enough around his face to give it that that fullness there. Unless he's got a bounce card, but there's no real break here in a shadow. It just looks like it's going around his face.
That's a one light shot right there, I think.
Yeah, it's really nice. But I also wanted to pull up AO.Z because he made a huge leap forward after we critiqued his stuff. Oh, I didn't mean to go to his thing, but this one, this is the guy we kept going. It was too dark, but here he compensated. He threw that red in there, and it brought it out. And I was like, this is
so much. And not only that, but like the composition, like if he was doing the Batman, the 5-point Batman in the Batcave, like the classic '66 stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Which were really good. Again, like I said, I still like you to go back to that Alfred one and crop that, man. Just crop it. You don't even have to retake it. Just crop it.
Yeah. So, which one were we talking about with the bet? This one,
that one right there. Yeah.
It's AO.Z as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
just crop that tight, man. I want to see that done because it looks good. It's a good shot. But yeah, that's the composition on this is really, really good.
Yeah. I'm really happy. I'm just happy that,
is he in here?
I don't know if he's actually listening right now, but he's he typically posts in the hashtag and puts stuff up, and I'm just really happy to see the improvement. I'm just glad that our criticism is, and he even credited us a little bit there.
He actually told me that he was like, "Hey, he told us watch your stream," and
cool.
I took some.
So it felt really good to get that.
It's always nice when you give somebody a little critique and they come back and hey, you listened.
Yeah, but I think he stepped backwards a little bit here. He tried, and it's
it's a little dark. It's too dark. The black on black is tough, man. You really gotta, and then when you add red into the mix, oof.
Yeah. It's really red's difficult. Not a friendly color. It's really hard. You usually have to
not
cut
a friendly color at all. Yeah.
And then it starts looking more pink. So you gotta watch it with that.
Yep.
Here's did we go over this one last week? No.
That's a really good shot from H Green.
Yeah, this is H Green.
Man, that's really nice.
I have nothing to say, really negatively or anything about this shot.
I don't.
The only nitpicky thing I can say is his elbow's up kind of funny for the way maybe it's just the gauntlet's turned funny or something is weird. But the actual composition and the lighting and everything is great.
I'll give you that. There's one, so I would give you, just the next time I'll give you a little bit of a tip though. I mean, the one thing, like when you brought up the elbow, I started looking at it. It could use a little bit of a highlight like under the arm because that elbow gets a little kind of like a black mass, and his head or his hand is almost disappearing against the background, right? Like you can tell it's his hand because he's got it over the hologram. Yeah. But if you just took a white card and stuck it just underneath his arm, like right out of the camera to bounce the light up, you're going to get a nice rim light, and it's going to outline the hand and the arm. And that's just going to define the hand against that background. That's the whole thing. Like if you've got something black on black, or you're losing. I did that with the Strange shot. His legs were like, it was all black, and there was no underlighting to that really underneath his legs. So I just put a white card, and it gave it a nice little highlight. Nothing too crazy, but it's just enough to say that's a hand. You know what I mean? That's an arm. So. But other than that, man, this is really, really good. I mean, I like what you did with the hologram and everything. It's nice.
Yeah, that's some great lighting he did on that. I mean, just overall, it could be a lighting issue, or it just from my perspective, and again, it could be the lighting that will solve it. It just looks like the elbow is like jutting too far out towards the camera.
I know what you're saying about the pose too. Yeah. I mean, they're clones.
Yeah, he said that forearm and Cody is a pain in the ass. I don't have a Cody, so I don't know for sure.
It is kind of, you know what I mean? Like to hold your hand like this and get it tight, you do have to make kind of an odd pose to do that. So I can't blame him there.
Yeah. No, I'm not It's definitely
There he goes. He says that forearm on Cody is a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass.
This one here was posted by Rippic Tan, and
I know him.
5 days ago, and I'm really digging this, man. And the special effects here look really good, actually. I mean, really nicely done. The lighting's pretty sweet too. Does he need like a filter though, like a ND, or I get the two confused, ND or polarizing filter to get some of that plastic glare off of the figures though? Because it's really detracting on his pants for me.
It's hard to like if he used. I'm assuming he like light painted this because he thought. I think the lightning looks like it was put in post, so he probably light painted a little bit or had a light off. It looks like there's a light off the side.
He's got a blue light back here somewhere.
It's tough, man. Unless you're gonna spray, the polarizing filter will maybe help a little bit there, but you almost got to spray your. Well, it's not
that matte stuff that you're talking about, or
the matte spray, like just a little matte spray. Otherwise, I mean, it's a plastic figure, man. There's not much you can really do about it. This is nice.
Plastic.
You know, what's going on with Obi-Wan? Is he jumping off there?
This is a Jedi, man. He's using the Fort Lightning. So this
poking in. I can't see that from here. Okay, I gotcha. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's cool.
Yeah, the poses I think are really on point. It just, and I don't think it's any fault. It's just that it's a plastic figure. You know, just that weird reflection on what would be pants, because that would be just a softer reflection. It wouldn't be so hard.
Yeah. What is in the lower corner there? Is that just a rock that's close to the
rock? Yeah.
This here is a lightsaber on the ground. So is this.
No, underneath the lightsaber on the ground over there.
There's a rock, there's a ledge here, and then some rocks in the foreground here. So.
I would have hit that with like a bounce card or something. It just looks like a big. There's not much to define it or give it any kind of definition as a rock, so it just looks kind of like a chunk out of the corner of the shot. Other than that, I mean, if there was something up in the top to balance that a little bit, you know, like I don't know, but it's a nice it's a nice composition that goes straight through, pulls your eye. The high point of contrast is on the main figure for the most part. Nice, cool shot.
Yeah, and he's got your complementary orange and blue. So he's winning all the way. Let's see if we got anything else to talk about on here. Did we go over this one previously? This is another one of H. Green's. I don't know if we went over this one last week or not.
Don't think we
looks familiar, but I may have just seen it.
All these troopers, I can't tell anymore.
Well, I mean, it's less so than it used to be. Like it used to be, like when I first got into this, it used to be everybody was doing troopers in the mud and troopers in the water and troopers on the sand and troopers in. But
I think he took this one after we went into it, because we had gone into the placement of that backlight, and I think this is his answer to it, because it's a bit more reasonable where this backlight is.
It's not like the sun.
That makes sense. Yes, we want Ahsoka.
Yeah, I want her tomorrow. I don't think
I won't get her until my local shop gets her, because that's how I
don't know if it's coming DHL. Like DHL is like I don't know. They're beaming stuff, man. It's insane. Yeah. It's crazy, but I don't think it's coming. I think it's coming EMS or something. So who knows?
Oh, that's gonna be painful.
It's not supposed to be. I got to talk to him because, like, I think I paid for first batch and expedited shipping. So whatever. Anyway, it's my problem.
Let's see. H. Green's asking if the Rex portrait's on here. There was a Rex portrait I saw somewhere. This one here. Is this what you wanted, H. Green? Yeah, that'd be that's a newer one. So we can go over this one. This is a new one for H. Green. That would be his Rex portrait. What are your thoughts, Trevor?
It's nice. I think it's hard to tell where the end of the shot. I guess it's sort of centered in the middle there. I guess the black around it is just kind of like enveloping the end of the left-hand side of the shot. So I don't know where it's cropped at, but it's good. I think you could
right here.
Yeah, I mean on the other side. I'm assuming it's right about there. Right. So that's good. The composition is good. I would just say I like the light. I would maybe again just brighten this up, and then he's got that thing on his chest, I'd even put probably just a bounce card or something, or
Yeah.
maybe just a light behind him and down below, so that you get a little rim light. Again, it's the same thing with the other shot, man. Think
shot,
about
yeah.
anything that's black, that's dying and bleeding into the background. Just try to define that a little bit. You know, on the light side of the shot. On the dark side of the shot, don't worry about it so much. You know, and if you're trying to fade something into darkness, that's fine. But if there's something on the front defined area of the shot, you're trying to get light on the front of him, just make sure that everything looks defined. And maybe just a little bit brighter, just a little bit brighter on the light. But you could do that in Lightroom or Photoshop. Just bring your levels up on your white levels up.
As long as you're shooting with the RAW. I mean, if you're doing a JPEG, your room for negotiating that is quite
It's
small.
a little less. Yeah, it's a little less. But you could do some dodging and burning in Photoshop, which I'm going to do a video on soon.
Is
this we think we saw.
Smart. Yeah, I think we saw that one as well. This is one that I think we missed last time. I don't remember seeing this one, but
I don't remember seeing that either.
472. This was 7 days ago, so I think we missed it last week.
I would remember
that. What do you think, Harry? What do you think? I'll let you talk.
I'm thinking this is a little bit too bright for me. Like we talked about, you know, motivated lighting. The background is a little bit lost. I don't know what's happening in the background. So it's kind of hard to tell where the light source is coming from and what's happening in the scene. But other than that, I like the posing. I like the composition. And yeah, that's what I got.
Trevor, you want to add to that? Or
no, I would say similar. There's a little more contrast to be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's so much space on the left-hand side. It's kind of a center composition. So I would have cropped that a little bit tighter. This is a tricky shot, man. Like, you've got multiple scales of figures. You've got multiple styles of figures, you know, to make these guys look like they're running and make them look realistic against a realistic figure. The idea is great. This is one of those shots that I think if I was going to do this, I would probably fake the how to put this, the plane that they're on, and probably would have brought it up tighter so that you didn't see the legs of Pennywise. You don't have to shoot it from the ground. Like, bring everything up, maybe elevate things with some cardboard or something, and get a nice tight shot where you just see enough of Pennywise to know that he's holding a leash. The wolf is nice and big, and then maybe it's just the head and shoulders of the Muppets sort of doing this, just a tighter shot, you know what I mean? Because you can convey the same thing without having to get so far back and get so much in there, and it's an awkward setup, you know what I mean? Like, unless you're going to really pull back, I think, Harry, you were saying this, it's like, it's hard to see what the background is. Just a tighter composition. You don't have to do you know, you can compose something off screen that still looks good on screen, that wouldn't, you know, it doesn't have to be on a street, you know, you're not going to see the street. So, you know, compose it, look at it through the camera lens, and if you have to lift things off the ground, you know, just crop a little tighter. But I mean, that's composite. That's stuff you learn as you go along, like just looking at other imagery and stuff. Because like the wolf around the Muppets looks good. I would have had like Pennywise a little lower, so that he looks like he's like maybe reaching out, you know, pulling the wolf back, or holding it at least, and it's just his head and shoulders that you see. You don't have to see his whole torso there. It would have made a tighter shot. So that's all I'm getting at.
That being said, I think the lighting on Beaker is actually not bad, although he gets blurry down here towards the bottom. But the overall lighting
on there, what is
on him
why is he
looks
blurry?
fine. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about why it's blurry. The whole bottom row is blurry. It's like, I don't think it's a depth of field either. It's like maybe a mask that they just, because I mean, you got a motion blur here, and it looks like you got almost like a rim around all these figures. So maybe a mask that they used and just forgot.
So they're maybe trying to convey the motion.
Yeah,
I think so.
That's tricky to do. You know what I mean? Like I stay away from that stuff because that's a hard thing to actually do a good job at. I would say you can still. It's like you captured them in motion with a fast shutter speed. Like, you don't need to see them blurring necessarily. I mean, sometimes a blur can be a nice effect, but I would use it to minimal effect instead of an entire group of people. It's very tough to do.
All right, let's see if we got any new ones here, and then if not, we'll give them
Cool
more time.
concept
And,
though.
yeah, I think it could have gone a little better. Ooh, this is new. Loco Lu in the house. Look at that,
Oh,
man.
that's
That
nice,
is
man.
tight.
That diorama.
I think I saw
beautiful.
this.
Oh, he
Did I see
posted it
this? I think I saw
for
this on
this
AC.
specifically. So
Okay.
let me hit that like button because this is beautiful. The lighting on this is top notch, man. It looks like it's in the sewer.
Yeah, this is perfect lighting. This dio is great because the lights are coming right from like lights that look like they're in a sewer. Those little overhead lights. It's great.
I'm jealous that he's got this dio too, man. This is beautiful.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Lou,
What's
thank
going
you
on in
for
the
sharing
corner
that.
there? I can't see what's going on in the lower. Yeah, the lower
This
left.
foreground thing, I'm not entirely sure.
No. The other side. The other side. What's
Here?
that? I can't.
He's giving him.
This is the foot soldier climbing up out of the sewer here because it's
that's
off there.
Oh. Okay, gotcha.
So, but I don't know what this white stuff is here. Maybe it's his Photoshop type effect for smoke that's a little too heavy-handed. I don't know.
That, or it looks like one
Or
of those solid effects that is just way way out of focus or something like that.
It's too bokeh out because it's.
I don't know if you even needed that. Like, I think the shot itself of the turtles in the sewer looks freaking great.
Yeah,
really nice.
These guys is just on point, dude. I love it. It's great.
Great dial.
Anybody else got any thoughts on this before we move on?
Nope. Yeah. Good chat.
All right, we're gonna move on then. Let's see if we got anything else new. This is 3 days ago. This is H Green as well.
Cool. Like that.
Yeah, you get your sister. I don't know which one, but one of your sisters and some troopers there supporting it. Lou said that was polyester because it was empty space. I guess that white that was.
Sometimes I will say something. There's sometimes the way if you can go back to that, the way you got that composed, that empty space, I think it's fine because you're almost, it's not quite rule of thirds, but at least they're off center a little bit. I would have said put a little more of the darker area to the right, cropped it out a little more so they are on a third. They're on the left third. And then that space is okay because basically it's drawing your eye into that one space. It's like negative space, which can be nice. You know what I mean? It depending on what it is, it can be kind of cool. You don't want a big black emptiness, but I mean, if there was a little bit like a bounce card there, just to take a little bit of that light and give it a little bit of definition, that'd be a nice shot. Yeah,
and this is just
it looks good with it. I don't think you needed it though. I don't think you needed it.
Yeah.
This is really nitpicky. I mean, you could go either way with it, but just our suggestions, or his suggestions.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's just
it's still beautiful.
Like what I'm getting at is don't be afraid of the negative space. Sometimes, depending on what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes it is very useful. Let me see here what we got. So yeah, back to this. And again, H Green he's lighting up all black figures. He's got his upper light here for his main source, and it looks like it's pretty much doing all the work there. And it's got a nice haze in there to get that, just to show you the light actually coming down. So that's pretty nice. I like that. I like that effect. Yep. I don't think he's got a bounce card in the front of them. I can't quite tell, but if I were to guess, I would say no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I got bots.
Yeah, that looks like that's one light's doing all the work, like you said, which is fine. I think, you have some areas that are pretty deep blacks around her sides and under, by her elbows and stuff like that. I think if you stood them on a white card even and aimed it might be too much, maybe a gray card or something like that.
Yeah.
If you stood them on that and then you have that godlight coming down, you're going to get a little bit of a bounce just to kind of define, the waist area and the arms again like that. But, I mean, this is an effect too, you know what I mean? Like it's not wrong.
No, it's pretty good. I mean, I like it a lot. Actually, though, nice. I don't want to be self-centered or anything, but what's going to play directly into this is the shot that I did this week so far. And that's going to be this one here. Because I got the singular light coming pretty much. I mean, there's a backlight, but it's really just to add that bluish hue to the background. The fact that I got a gloss here, that's helping bounce light back up a little bit, just a bit.
Oh, you got a
to
gloss
clean
floor
it's a
that you're
gloss
putting.
on the
Okay.
pavement. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Um, so
Yeah. So you can get a little. You get a little light on that cape, so it's not just a big area of black. You know what I mean? There's some definition in there, and
and we got the palette as well, help separating it out from that would have been a dark background back there. So
Yep.
the palette helps pull it out. But we're gonna dive into this one, I think, because I'd like to know what you guys have to say about it.
Yeah, you got that godlight going on with the fog. That worked out.
Yeah, it's right up here. That's where that light. It's the Loom Cube, and it's just pointing straight down. And oops, didn't do that. And then there you got your alien tail. You almost lose it, but that's the whole point of it too. You're supposed to be second guessing, just like Batman. For me anyway. That's what I'm saying. But
Gotcha.
yeah, of course, I would rather somebody who's looking at its insight. So I'll be quiet and let you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up because.
Yeah, I don't have much to say, but this is just a beautiful shot. I don't see any negative things, any problem with it at all. Composition is perfect. The way Batman's pose is perfect. The light coming down and the blue in the back. Yeah.
Well, I think Darth Maul would have to say something to say about the way Batman's pose because he wants his hands back. My Darth Maul's like, hey, I had big force wielding hands, and now they're gone.
Yeah, I think the way you've got the boxes is, that's dark on the left, but it's creating a frame. You know what I mean? So it's a different thing. Like I don't need to see the definition of that. It's part of the frame. And the other side, you've got a little light coming from that on one of those boxes, so I know it's a box. You know what I mean? I know it's just not something that's just. And the idea is, he looks like he's kind of in a warehousey area, so like you understand what they are.
Okay, well, Exotic Carfax says it looks a little dark.
I disagree.
I'm afraid.
I think it's not as dark if you look at it on Instagram. I mean, it's tough on here because you're looking at it through a screen, through it's different on Instagram. Go look at it on Instagram. It's not as dark.
I think the idea is that the alien is in the darkness, and that's why Batman is thrown off by that. It's the idea. So it works out in this case.
I did a little bit of special effects in post, and that's just giving a slight motion blur to the cape. I didn't go too crazy on it, but I did a motion blur and just painted the path of the blur around like this to follow the cape.
Yep.
So it's only on the cape and a little bit of the shoulder, but that's it.
Maybe a little bit more light on the tail, because I could see it here. It's hard to see here. It's easier to see in your shot. It's a little brighter. But it's tough because you've got that motion blur on it too. So
well, no, that's actually
you're moving it. Yeah.
I tried I think the shot I sent you first was a motion blur in post, and if because I sent it to you the other night, and you'll see that tail probably is a bit more predominant, but to me it looked kind of muddy, like just wrong. So I went back and I redid it with the motion blur, like actual in-camera motion blur. So.
Yep.
So it is defined a little better in
the first one.
In the first one that I sent you, but it didn't really look like it was a real motion blur. It just, for me, it was bothering me. I was like, it looks too fake. I have to not do that. So, but what did
I say? What did I say about that one?
You didn't. I don't think you just, because I think when I sent it to you, I was like, I just, because we were talking about wanting to share something immediately. I was like, I just can't hold on to this one.
I do like that first one though. There's something about that tail that's creepy. But it's nice. The
Lou, is that where that quote's from? Good. Somebody else said that too, and I don't know where that quote's from. I just googled.
Oh, Dead End.
Yeah, I think it's probably Dead End. But we got a 15-minute video here. We're going to segue into where we're going to go over this shot, and then we're going to discuss a little bit more. So with that, let me see what I'm going to do here. If you guys want to say something, just interject, and I'll pause the video itself. And let's see here. I gotta drink my coffee first. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody out there, YouTube land. This is Moz coming to you with another episode of Moz's Toy Box. This is the Toy Photography Talk episode, and today we are going behind the scenes of my latest Batman shot. This Batman is a custom Night Lord, aka Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns Batman 1/6 scale, and it's made by ROVANIC Studios. You can find his information in the description down below. If you want to order one, they are not cheap, but they are beautiful. I love my Batman. It's the coolest Batman ever on any planet.
I'm very excited about this Batman.
Yeah.
New 52 be damn coolest Batman. All right. So we took this shot and we had to, this shot took me a long time to make. It was like 2 weeks of building this shot because I had to build the diorama, which I'm not, a old hat at it or anything. I just kind of throw things together. Now, in the diorama, we have custom made asphalt down here. So this is the cork board for the texture, painted with black gloss mixed with a glossy Mod Podge. And then after we painted all that, we did a clear coat of gloss on top of it, and it made it nice and shiny, almost like a wet asphalt. I got inspired by that. In fact, I asked Desi from Metamorphic Customs for insight on how to get that texture for 1/6 scale, and that's what he pitched me at, and that's what I did, and it's worked out great. It looks beautiful. For these are falling. These are crates that I made out of the pink foam. I think it's XPS foam you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's. Lowe's is green, I think, and the Home Depot one is pink.
This is important.
Either way, it doesn't matter. But you can get this stuff made. And now my wife's coming down here.
Wife interrupted the.
All right, guys, we have returned to our regularly scheduled program. We had a slight interruption from the other member of this household, the spouse. How dare she? Anyway, we are back. So we were talking, I think, about these. Oh, and I knocked it over yet again. Talking about the foam crates. I made 5 of these. I also made for these pallets, which are also made out of foam. And these are all, hand painted, hand textured with a bristly brush. You can get them from the auto part stores. The metal brushes. I bought like a pack of 3 different sizes. It was like $9 from the auto part
This is
store.
the part where I babble.
But you just run that over the foam, and you get some digs into the foam, and it makes nice texture. So when you base coat it with black, I don't think it's going to focus on it, but when you base coat it with black, it's going to give you those lines in it. So it's going to look like, from a glance, it's going to look like wooden materials, which is great, which works great for photography. I also made some boxes, handmade some boxes. This is I used soda cases. They're a thinner cardboard, and also used cereal boxes. It's also another thin cardboard. Those are a little thicker though than the soda boxes, strangely enough. To use those, you can find DIY patterns online to make boxes, and you cut the pattern out, and then you fold the box up. You could even go so far as use some packing tape to cover the top of this. Cut it into small strips, and I've done that on a few of them. But I really just wanted to get to the picture. I was tired of playing with it. But here's one with packing tape, and maybe I'll catch the light for you guys. I can't tell, but you can see a little bit of glint there. The shelving unit I made as well. I had some wooden dowel rods from some other projects, and I cut them all down to the same length to make the support beams, the vertical supports. And then the shelf itself is just black foam board you get from Kroger. It was like $3 a sheet, and I cut that up to the same size, made the shelves, and then I put a little piece of XPS foam on the underside to make it look like a support for the shelves. But this is all glued together, and it works. But enough about that. You guys aren't here for that. You're here for the picture process. And one other thing before we get into that, my evil doppelganger, who has been hosting this show this whole time, has probably forgotten to remind you to please like, share, and subscribe to this video and or channel. Busted. Because, those are good things. Those things help me help you. Let me know, or let my doppelganger know, one of us, that you guys like what we're doing and or don't like what we're doing. And please comment. Even if you've watching the stream later, comment so that we know. and you'll know that we know. You see what I'm saying? Right. The other thing is, recently we just got channel memberships, and of course, you know, the full monetization nines. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. The membership thing is really new. I didn't know exactly what to offer you guys yet, but I know one thing I got coming in. So all my photography is going to end up, to the best of my ability, being made into wallpapers for your computer and or phone. And members will be able to download these wallpapers and put them, you know, use them as they see fit. So with your membership, it'll probably be the next tier up. It won't be the base tier. I haven't even made the next tier yet, though.
Ramble.
Let me stop it. So the members will be able to do that here.
I find myself doing that too.
And get wallpapers of this artwork. And who
Until I
knows?
hate
Maybe,
editing.
maybe Harry will want to sign on. I don't know. I'm putting words in his mouth. I don't know. And give you some of his artwork as well. That's
Glad I
entirely
talked
up
to you
him.
before I said
Ask
that.
him. Ask him. Leave a comment. Ask him. You know. We'll see, right? So with that, let's get into the actual shot.
Finally. God.
And yeah. So this is a Loom Cube. I have 4 of these. These are great. These are great little lights. You can use a phone app to control it. I don't, because I use my phone to control my camera. And you can put cool little, you know, devices on them, like snoots, so you can pinpoint that light. But I didn't use a snoot here.
I never
For
use
this
that phone app.
particular shot, I have a Loom
Yeah.
Cube right here.
Just call it a battery
And this
drainer.
Loom Cube is on.
Yeah.
Not right this second, but I'm turning it on now. And it's not on that high because my exposure time is really, you know, long. It's like 4 seconds. So you don't need a lot of light when you do that. You have, you know, a lot of light. Your lens is open really wide and for a really long time at the apertures that I'm running and the shutter speed. So when your shutter speed is slower, your lens is open longer and it lets in more light. Great things. I have another Loom Cube down here. So this Loom Cube here, what this is going to do is just going to feather out some light and just catch on this tail a little bit, because I don't want this tail to really be in the shot.
And it also
I
lit
want
up
this
a little
tail
bit
to
of that
be
box that you were
something he's like, did I see that? You know, he's turning around like, what was that? So really cool thing here. Now, the other light I have on for this shot is this light here. This light back here has got blue gels in it. And what we're doing with this light is we're just creating the whole evening kind of, because this is a warehouse at night, right? So it's, you know, whatever moonlight's coming in, whatever window. I don't have a window set in the scene, but just a tone, really, just to get that moody, darker nighttime tone. The other thing that we did is, of course, we had these bounce cards. I have 3 different bounce cards in here, and each one of these is bouncing some of this light to the, you know, back on the Batman, because I only have the overhead light. I want whatever spillage, including this bounce. This is a big bounce card here. Any spillage to kind of come back towards Batman, because this is supposed to be, you know, just one warehouse light out of many. So I want any spillage to come back to him, because, you know, light will leak over and over all over the place. The other device I have here is we fill up the scene with this haze machine. This is the Chauvet Hurricane Haze 1DX. You can buy whatever you want, but I chose a haze machine because haze itself will linger in the scene and not be as thick as fog. And if I need fog, we all know how I do that. I just vape. So that's how I do that. When I'm taking this shot, if you notice in the shot itself,
Here's my grid.
I have this
So proud of that.
kind of light outline going on him. It's very directional looking. Now, there's a couple ways you can do that, but the way I did it is I made this little grid here. I call it a grid, although grid would be cut across, but technicalities, right? And what I did is I would hold this right up here against this one light here, right? And I would blow some of the vape, because I'd have the haze filling up the scene, but I'd blow a little bit of vape and get it coming down through this same area. And you don't want a lot of extra haze in here, because that's going to create more light refractions. It's going to diffuse light and make the whole scene brighter and wash out this effect. So we got just a little minimal amount of haze in the scene from the haze machine. and then we have a bunch of haze, well, it's fog, haze, whatever, coming through this area specifically. And so it's going to create those light beams, which is something I've finally learned exactly how to do, which is great. Because in fact, if you were watching last week, I was asking Trevor, how do you nail this? And it's very dependent upon not getting washed out. None of these light sources that I have are overly powerful, and I didn't allow too much haze to fill the entire scene, because that's just going to start reflecting a whole bunch of light back at the camera. So we got this, and we got it minimized to this little bit, and it just made nice little hazy. It brought out the light, which is what you wanted to do. The next thing I did, well, that was essentially it. The next thing I did, though, is in a different shot, because I don't have the hands, I didn't have the tool to hold that piece of foam with the grid up. I'm going to buy another stand, I promise you, with another clip. Because this one here holding this alien tail, this clip here sucks. This whole wire, this whole gooseneck sucks, and this clip won't fit on the nice gooseneck. So these other goosenecks that have the lights, these are awesome.
Get more of those goosenecks.
Yeah, I know. I have links to these. I know if you go to 1/6 Shooter, he's got links to them as well. Because he pointed me in that direction. It was great. All right.
I love
so what I did for the tail effect, if you notice, if you look at the shot, there's a blur to it. Now, the first time I did this is what I did is I just took the tail, since I have a long shutter speed, I just grabbed hold of it and just slowly pulled it towards me from this side, because I want the tail to be coming, this way. So you just kind of slowly pull it and you get a blur. Now, that was a recommendation from Trevor, by the way, to move it, because I had tried it also in post, because the fog wasn't quite right, and I didn't want to risk messing up things by masking out one tail and putting the other and having the fog not match. It's a pain in the butt when you have fog. But it worked out. We got it. But my first time doing it is in Photoshop, I added a motion blur to the tail, and it looked kind of choppy. It looked kind of fake, just for lack of a better word.
To me, it did anyway.
All right. So as far as Batman's pose goes, this is the 1/6 scale custom Night Lord figure from ROVANIC Studios. And the cool thing is the cape here. The cape is not wired. The cape is a very free-flowing, drapey cape. But I took this
Drapey cape
armature wire, and I ran it, I tucked it into his belt, and I ran it down and around that curvature kind of way around, and I let it go even further than the cape, but I had it go off camera at that point, because what I didn't want to happen is I didn't want the cape at the tip to start sagging down like it's, being propped up inside the cape but not outside the cape. So I ran that wire all the way, and I put it on this clamp, so I had the leverage where I wanted it. I got it clamped here, so it's coming back up and keeping that cape in kind of a swoopy, little bit upwards motion and not going down. So that's how I got the cape to do that. And then, of course, a bunch of finagling with the rest of the cape as well. And if you're looking into this figure, he does not come with these open hands. These open hands, by the way, are Darth Maul's hands from the DX-17, maybe 18, I don't know. One of the two. We got this board here. This one is really, it's not technically in use for any of the lighting. What I got it here for is just to keep the fog from the haze machine in the scene and not drifting way out into the living room or something. So guys, there's all the settings for the shot that we took with the Batman in the warehouse. I'm of course going to use these pieces again for something else, but
Got to end with the coffee.
That's pretty much everything. Now, as far as the camera settings themselves, we'll go over that with my doppelganger, of course. And I'm sure, again, I'm going to have to remind you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, please. And also, if you're inclined, become a member. Get some wallpapers out of this when I get to that. I'm working on it, I promise you. This will probably be one of the first wallpapers, this shot. So keep that in mind. All right. So back to you, Moz, in the studio.
There we go.
We're literally going back to you.
Right.
So there we go. So that was the
That was
behind
very
the scenes.
creative.
Did you see anything that maybe we could improve on in another shot? And I say we collectively because if you notice, I refer to myself as we all the time because I'm always having fun. Whenever you have fun, you refer to yourself and other people.
Yeah, the Queen's we. I did pull something up because it just reminded me of this. So I don't know if I guess I can share it again. I guess you have to share it, but I'll bring it up anyway.
Yeah, but I'll pull it in there.
So,
Oh, cool.
this was a shot. It did a while back. So now this, shoot, I'm lost here. Hang on a second. I gotta come back. There we go. Okay, we're back. So this is the same thing. So that grid, it actually is called a gobo. It's a weird name, but like if you look at, it's something that you can actually put on the end of some of the brighter lights and stuff like that they use in studios, and that can like cast that, a feeling of like leaves or something across the model. You know what I mean? Those are super, super bright lights, but it's the same thing that you were doing with that grid. It's the exact same thing. I'll show you the behind the scenes to this. Oop, that is not what I want.
No,
I want to share.
Can't do anything with it now. You took it away. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes. So that's the behind the scenes. So it's essentially the same thing, but I will tell you, I went through like probably 3 or 4 versions of this little piece of cardboard. And the key to this for me was like just getting the thinnest lines I could. I had like 4 wide lines and it just wasn't working. The light wasn't hitting it the way I wanted to hit it. And then just a super bright light. I think I have one of my cans, not even a Loom Cube, like hitting this whole thing. Like it had to be focused just to hit the cardboard and hit it right and not bleed over the sides. It did bleed a little bit over the side, but it didn't make a difference. But it's the same thing. Like you put fog through that and it works out really well. But that's if you want that extreme, like noir grid like look. You know what I mean?
I would have taken that if I'd gotten it, but apparently I need to cut my grid thinner because mine is not that
thinner and like a bigger piece of card. Like even this wasn't big enough. After I did this, I realized I needed to have it sort of like, cover a good area. It covered enough of the set that it got to where I needed it to get. But and look at this wacky contraption I got holding this thing up. I got a chair and some pieces of styrofoam and shit. It's just crazy.
Well, you make this whole thing.
Whatever you do,
if it works,
whatever you can do to get it done. Yeah,
is that is that a 1/6 scale ledger joker, by the way, with the custom
custom head?
Hair?
Yep.
Nice.
Wow.
Yep.
But
those are cool. You can do so much stuff with that stuff. Like I use that for. I'll stick. And this I want to, one of these days I'm going to cut one out. But I want to cut one out like the shape of like, it's almost going to be like a one of those mesh things you see in war, you know what I mean? Like, but like cut like weird so that it just looks like forest light coming through. Because right now I'll actually take little leaves that I have and stick them in the softbox.
This is what I could use. Maybe this is something I bought on a whim actually in the Joann's when I went in there with my wife.
Maybe
I don't know.
It might be a little light. Thin. I don't know if there's enough of a thickness to the. That's cool stuff, though. God, I think I had this before. What the hell was that stuff? I mean, it's gonna. Try it, it might be a little too thin, but like you could try it.
Yeah, I bought it for predator netting, but I don't think it's gonna quite work for that.
Yeah. It worked nice for predator.
Well, it's a lace apparently, so it's a weird. It's got thicker lines going one way than the other, so it's just kind of weird looking. It's not quite a net. So,
yeah, if you look up gobo on Google, you'll see what they look like, and they're pretty much 50-50 cut out to not cut out, because it's really got to get enough of both the negative and the positive space to come through to actually show up and cast the light the way you want it and have the shadow sort of kill it. But they're cool, man. There's so many effects you can do with them. They just don't, as far as I can find, don't come in like a big sheet, automatically ready for you. They're generally things that people will put on the end of a spotlight or something like that, or in a studio that will project a large, like, sun or something like that, or a moon crest or something, for an effect for like portrait shooting or something. But yeah, it's great stuff, man.
808
cool.
in the house. He says try fish netting if that's what you're looking for. Actually, I have some of that too. So I did have something that kind of worked, but this seemed like it was a better thickness for what I was doing.
I think your grid
then
worked. I
got
think
it.
the grid you used worked really well. I mean, I could see it in there. You weren't trying to make it look like there were lines coming down necessarily.
No, because I wouldn't have made. I mean, I would have taken it ahead. I got it, but it wouldn't have made a lot of sense. So, like, when I did this here, I just wanted really to just get at least a beam, which I did. You know, I got a beam
of the fog. Yeah, the fog worked out great.
Of the
That
fog,
was perfect.
and I added a little bit of particle effects to the beam to give it that kind of dust laying in the air kind of thing.
That's nice.
And I masked it out of the rest of the shot. You know, I threw in like 2 or 3 layers of particles because you never want to use just one. It'll make it look too flat. It's not usually dense enough. So best to do it is to put in 1 layer. If you're not going to mask out your main figure, put in 1 layer, then mask pretty much all over that layer, all over that figure to make that layer look like it's behind him. Right. And then bring your next one in and let some of them go over top of him just so it kind of starts surrounding him. And even, you know, when I did this, though, I masked a lot of the bluer areas out and left it only in the light part. So it falls off, you know, heavily when you get to the bluer areas.
Yep.
And I really like how that blue light worked, too. Now, that was a $20 light. That's the newer lights that I have.
Yeah.
And you have to plug them into USB. They're not battery powered or whatever like the Loom Cube.
Oh.
But look at the nice rim lights it's giving here on the boxes and stuff, too. I mean, it just added to the, you know, that it worked perfectly. It did exactly what I wanted it to. It gave the warehouse like that kind of foreboding darkness to it without making it look like I was being way too off. It just worked, I think.
Yeah, blue light is the key for that, man. It doesn't really make much logical sense. I mean, it does give it like there's a distant fluorescent light, dim fluorescent light somewhere in the warehouse, you know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be motivated lighting, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to say, hey, this is from X light. It just looks good, and like that's, you know, it works. It's movie stuff. It fools you into feeling like this is correct. This is the way a warehouse at night looks. You know what I mean? Even if it's not really, but it works.
Oh, it's essentially lighting up. It's lighting your darks. I mean, you're using a light to make a dark, even though it would be dark on its own, but there's no separation if you did just dark on its own. So it's a great color to use when you just want to light up a darkness without over lighting it. But one of the problems I've run into is like the blue gels that come with the Loom Cubes are way too blue. They're like way too like royally blue.
Yeah, I don't like those gels. And any of those gels are they're too oversaturated. They're just way too dark. Yeah.
The warm ones are okay, but they're not as good as like the panel minis when you just set that on 3200. You know, that just seems to be fine on its own. But and a yellow doesn't work because it makes it too. It has the yellow I have anyway. It gives it too much of a greenish yellow tint. He's gonna go pull out some warm gels. I can tell. Harry, man, you've been really quiet while he's gone. What do you got to say? Speak.
I mean, I already told you. You know, like I don't have much to say rather than this shot is freaking perfect. So,
well, guys, this is the wallpaper shot that I'm working on. This will be, you know, I'll probably have like a logo for me down here in the bottom on the black letterbox thing, but that's other than that. This is one of the wallpapers.
AF.
Trevor, you're muted, I think. Still can't hear you. No?
Anyway.
There you are.
Good? Okay.
Well, kind of. It's like a fishbowl, but you're good.
Yeah, it sounds a little muddled.
Yeah. Try talking again, please, Trevor.
Yeah, maybe my audio's changed.
There you go. That was coming through better.
Now it's better.
Max Geekdom, what's up, man?
I still can't hear Trevor.
Yeah, he's not coming through reliably. It's like kind of.
Yeah, it's like you can't cut off a little bit.
Check.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
That?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it switched to my AirPods instead of the Yeti.
That makes sense.
I hate that.
I was saying I like it horizontally cropped like this too. That looks good.
Yeah, I need to remember
It's
to
like a
shoot
movie.
16:9 though in the future. So when I make these wallpapers, I don't have to crop as much. It'll be
shoot everything 16 by 9.
Although I do,
So-
this was shot in 4:3, and I do love how the crop worked on here when I put the letterbox in. Even though I got rid of my asphalt that I'm really proud of, it doesn't need to be there. It just adds to it that is not there.
It doesn't. This actually looks. You know what I like about this is it focuses your eye on the tail.
Yeah.
Because you can it's like what you see, and it's such a tight shot that you see his eye looking in that direction, and then you go, oh, there's something moving there. You know what I mean?
That is true. I
don't know, man. This is kind of I might like this crop better than the other one.
Well, blame Instagram for making me do 4.5.
I know. I know. Like cinematic ratio 16:9 looks terrible horizontally on Instagram. You lose so much.
I still stick to it. I'm like,
I know. No, I mean, I'm
stubborn.
I like it. I like it when people like you, that's what they do. You know, I mean, it's over and over and over again, and it looks really cool on their grid. When you got that one wacky one though in the middle of everything, and it's like,
it just kind of breaks up the
yeah.
So
this
what
is
did you
the
go
Loom
get,
Cube.
Trevor? What do you got?
This
Oh,
isn't
the Panel Pro.
the small panel. This is the big panel.
Okay.
But what I did is you can buy these gels on Amazon or on B&H or any of the thing, and they come in big 12 by 12 sheets. So I just cut them down to fit behind the little diffuser that they have that comes with it, the little panel. And you got purple, you got yellows, you got your blues.
Well, don't the Panel Pros have RGB though? Don't they?
The new ones do. This one didn't. This one was their first version of it. And I have some RGB panels too, but this is just a nice big surface. You know what I mean? For some good coverage, like a full length 1/6 off to the side.
You're saying I need a couple of those, is what you're saying, because I only got the minis. I got the Panel minis.
I'm not trying to sell you on it. I mean, a good big light like that is a good thing to have. But yeah, I mean, you could do the same thing. I do the same thing with the Loom Cubes. I'll cut these to a small square, and just put them behind a magnet, one of the barn doors or something like that, just to hold it in place.
Yeah, I did that with the ones that came with my newers. You know, that's what I've been using for all the gels. But the Loom Cubes, the cubes, though, the ones those themselves, I've actually had to run those hot sometimes, like really bright, and they actually have melted.
They melted
gels.
Mine too. I know they
so
melted
I was
mine
like,
too.
Shit.
I just like chalk it up to like, hey, whatever. I cut another one. You know what I mean?
Those little cubes can get
whatever
hot,
to get the shot. Set the house on fire. Whatever it takes, man.
Those cubes can get hot. The panels not so much. The panels do fine, but those cubes can get really hot. If you put them like 100%, you're like, ow.
Yeah. But that's such a nice focused, bright light. I mean, you can't get a brighter light than that. I haven't tried any of the competitors for Loom Cube yet, the Litras or anything like that. I don't know if it's the same thing. But, I mean, I got enough Loom Cubes, I don't really need it. But, man, that is such a bright beam of light. You know what I mean? It's great.
I need to order some more gels, though. That is a good point. But I just ordered a whole new stand for this camera here, because right now it's on a Joby, Gorilla type pod stand right behind my monitor. But my buddy ordered one for his YouTube or whatever he's doing. He does DJ stuff in front of his laptop on Twitch or YouTube, or whatever. But it's a desk clamping camera mount, and you can swivel it around and stuff. And I was like, well, that'd be great because I can spin it around and shoot, the photography area over there without having to reset this up every time I take it down. Because with this Joby, it's like,
What is are you just using like a webcam?
No, this is my EOS M50 Mark 1, and then I shoot my Mark 2. So.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say I'm using one of those goosenecks.
Yeah,
it's just a webcam though. It's not.
This is a little heavy. I tried to put it on the gooseneck. The gooseneck's it was like the Charlie Brown Christmas all over again.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
The ornament on the top. It was like. It's like, so you're good for lights, but not with camera. Gotcha.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Cool, man. Well, that's great. So you put that up on the channel already, or you just premiered it here?
What,
Batman?
that?
Yeah, the Batman thing. It's been up, right?
Wait, it's been on Instagram.
Your video.
Oh, the video? No, I only played it here. I'm going to put it up later on its own.
Oh, thing.
Okay. So I just played it in here because I felt that I have a captive audience. They can't get away.
Well,
and plus, we actually get to talk over it with a premiere instead of trying to type and make comments.
I know.
By the time you get it out, the moment's over, and everybody's like, "What?"
I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
like also like a multiverse thing. You know, you were talking to yourself. And, you know, it works
I know,
better.
right?
Yeah.
I
It's
kind of like referring to myself as a
Inception-like.
doppelganger. You
Yeah.
know, like, hey, my doppelganger.
Very Inception-like.
And it was
That's
completely correct too. I had forgotten to pitch the whole stream the entire time I've been on. So at least I got it out of the way.
It's the worst when somebody comes to the top of the stairs too and is like, "Hey." Like,
My wife
Start
went
again.
to lunch. It was right around lunchtime today, and she was like, she came down an hour early. It would have been done, but she came down an hour early. She's like, I got a meeting at noon. I was like, damn it, I gotta stop.
Well, that was cool, man. I appreciate you asking me on again. I'm gonna have to run.
Dude. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you
thanks for coming out. Sure.
kind of got you last
Yeah.
minute. I really appreciate
Anytime,
coming in
man.
tonight,
Love taking a look at the
but-
stuff, and that was really cool. Loved
Well,
watching
let's
that.
give you the solo camera and let them know what you got coming up this week or beginning of next week, whatever.
God, who knows? I've got some Mythic Legions coming in. I know that I've got to shoot another wave of those, so it could be a while before you see anything else. I do have a shot set up over on the table now that I'm hoping to get done before that stuff comes in. I'm going to be putting up a kind of extended BTS of the Doctor Strange shot up in Reels, because that's what Instagram wants.
I still haven't done a reel. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's again way too much work for what it is, but whatever. So look for that, I guess, and I will be
You got any
posting that
streams this week?
Nosferatu shot. What's that?
You got any streams this week? I know you got Legions.
Yeah,
or
Friday
off
is-
week, or it's this week.
Nope. Friday is 1 6-pack. I'm
Okay.
hoping to get a very special guest on there, or guests. We'll see. I'm working on it. I'm working behind the scenes. Whether or not it's going to happen, I don't know yet, but we'll see. But that's happening. We'll be talking. We'll be talking about Ahsoka. We'll be talking about Batman yet again, because there's more Batman stuff. There'll probably be more
Yep.
Batman stuff by that point. So that's Friday at 9:30 on my channel, and then Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard is Legion's Lounge, and working on some guests for that too. We'll see. We'll see.
Rocking.
But it's always fun.
Well, Trevor, thank you so much for coming in tonight. I really appreciate it. It livened up the show, and really look forward to
try.
having you again whenever you're up to it, man. Just
Yeah, for sure.
any Tuesday that you feel you have time, just hit me up, man. We'll throw you in. You can be like a kind of on again, off again regular if you'd like. If you
that'd
have
be great.
time for it, you want to be
Yeah,
pushy or
sure.
anything. But
No, I love it. If I can get out early enough, if my boss lets me go. Well, my clients let me go, basically. So we'll see. But yeah, appreciate it. Harry, good to see you, man.
Yeah,
All right.
good to see you, Trevor. Thank you.
See you guys.
thank
Thanks.
you again. Have a good night, Trevor. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Harry, man.
That was cool.
I know,
Always
right?
love having him on. Such an insightful mind.
Dude, it's just such a great wealth of information to tap. You know,
Mhm.
just get the insight there, man. I love it. And yeah, now that I'm looking at this in the crop, as much as I like seeing the tails on his cape, you know, because I love seeing his tails in the cape, but I think he's right. I think that does really single out that tail of the alien,
It does.
which is
It does.
important.
Yeah, it does focus on the
And,
tail a little bit, and you can really see the blur there.
Yeah. But while we got you guys here, let's play around with this shot a little bit. How about that? Let's see if we can get some more color. Because remember, I was telling you I kind of want it a little bit more vibrant.
A little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit more something. So let's open up.
I'm also just biased too. You know, I love that cinematic 16:9 look. So for me,
Well, I want to leave it
obviously
there, but I
best.
feel that this needs a little bit more color to it. You know,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
feels very
color.
flat on the color for a wallpaper. It just doesn't seem like it's got enough oomph to it. So let's open up the Lightroom while we got you guys here. I don't know what Windows is opening in. Oh, way over there. All right. As soon as it's done.
Did you watch that one video by Pixin Perfect where he talked about like color profiles in Photoshop that just pops all the colors by just like 2 clicks?
I don't know. I watched a lot of his stuff. But I just don't know if I watched that one.
Yeah, that was a recent one that I was like, oh shit, let me try that out. And then like it's actually perfect. It just pops all the colors without making them look too much. So that's something that you might want to look into.
Yeah, hold on here. Let me all right, so this is I gotta find the one without the little logo thing. Let's see unstack. and then wherever it went without the logo. So that's the natural shot before I did anything. That's one of them without the blur. Hold on.
I kind of prefer that, like this.
There we go. There's the one before I was done. So yeah, there's the actual shot I used. Sorry.
Okay.
Right there, and then I color graded it to that.
Yeah, I kind of prefer not seeing the tail too much. Actually, I think it works out.
That's what I was worried about. So I just want to take a look at what colors we can get here. I went with Cinematic 2, so there you go. We're back where we started.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah, I love the cinematic ones. It's pretty cool.
I'm a sucker for that.
Loco Lu saying, "What's up to Max Geekum?" Loco Lu. Loco Lu. Now that Trevor's gone, if you want to pop in, you're more than welcome to. If you want, just let me know. I'll send you a link. Let's see. Tell me if you see something you like here. I don't think we're going to find it in cinematic though. I think it's not going to be punchy enough.
I kind of like what you had.
What where it's at currently before I do anything else to it?
Yeah, like the one that you already has for Cinema 2 up there, I think, or something.
Oh yeah, the 2, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's gonna be a nice one here, you know, just don't know if it's gonna be punchy enough or whatever, you know, just see how it plays with it pulls at the shadows and stuff whenever we I don't like that.
Could you just play around with your old shot and just maybe pump up the like vibrance and maybe temperature?
I could do that. I could try that. Definitely could try that. Let me there's the shot there, and if I bring up the vibrance, let's see what that does. That might be punchy enough.
Yeah, I think the yellow is a bit too yellow now, though. Maybe.
Okay, so we want to
go to color mix.
Grab that yellow and
just maybe change the hue a little bit. Yeah, to orange.
I'm just bringing it all the way down to see if the.
Yeah, that's all the way down. I like that too, but it's not really orange. It's more like a weird pinkish.
Put that back where it was.
I kind of like that desaturated too. But that's just me. I like the desaturated look.
Where is this yellow at? Here we go. That's my mid-tone yellow. I don't know. I kind of have to leave it there, man. It's bothering me if I play with the blending a little bit. And then the balance. No. Like any of that.
Yeah, kind of like
I don't like it.
Just what you already had.
What are you doing, man? Go back to the way you were. Okay, there we go. So I'll have to play with this more when I'm not trying to do more things in one. Because for one, I'm looking at a monitor I don't like to edit from because it's it doesn't have as much of the darks in it as I like, so it's very pale in comparison, quite literally. So it's just hard for me to gauge the color. But
I like what you had already. Yeah, that looks to me perfect.
Would you have that as your desktop?
Of course, I would.
All right. Somebody, I think, pointed out the bat nipple one, so we might have to address that.
Really?
Somebody had pointed out, like, you got bat nipples. I was like, no, not Joel Schumacher.
Well,
no,
these bat nipples make sense. These bat nipples make sense.
Because the outfit's so tight.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not pasty.
He's so swole, you know.
But what are you planning to shoot this week, Harry?
Well, you kind of sold me on the warehouse scene here, so I'm thinking of doing that warehouse scene in BBS with my Batflight here, because I've got like a few goons as well, and I was gonna have him, like fighting them in a warehouse, but I don't know. That's the plan, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. But I would like to.
Well, we didn't get anybody else to link any more pictures while we were streaming, or while we've been doing the stream. So that's a little sad. The last was
Or
Lou.
you can, I mean, you can just, critique some of my shots, whether you think they should be better
Well, I
you
don't
know,
think I have any room to critique your shots, sir. Now we could
no,
talk about
come
your
on.
shots if you like, but I don't
There's,
think I
there's
have
always,
any
there's
room
always
to
something to
critique.
critique.
Don't say that to see me. Uh,
There's always something to critique, though, right?
oh yeah, see this one. What I don't like about this one is that it's Venom. I'm just kidding.
What I don't like about this is that it's a picture. That's why I don't like it.
So is this in front of your cyberpunk cityscape stuff that you kept?
Yep, this is when I'm utilizing Cyberpunk here, and yeah, I think it just works.
Have a good night, H-Screen. Have a good night. That's amazing, man.
peace
I
out,
mean, the
H-Screen.
way you can make it look like it's in that scene is, I don't know how you do it. Man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just a lot of light bouncing. Almost like nothing here is direct lighting. Everything is bounce. So I think that's how you really blend it together. And then also just blowing smoke in the screen, in the scene, surprisingly helps a lot.
So is your smoke when you blow the fog or smoke effect? Is your figure in the shot already, or is it like just against the background and you paint it on top of it?
He's in the shot too. So I'm blowing the smoke on top of the figure as well. And I think that actually does help blending it with the scene.
Well, we were talking about how difficult it can be, though, to match up the different smoke layers if you're trying to mask things in and out. What do you do to get around that? I know you're doing video footage, though, instead of Photoshop.
Yeah, so when I'm doing video footage, I think that is the benefit of doing video footage, because then I can just really pick the exact frame that I feel like won't give me any problems when it comes to editing. And then I'll pick that. And I think that's one benefit. So I guess it's like the same as just taking burst shots. If you're using a DSLR, just take like hundreds of shots of that, specific scene, and then just pick the one frame you like the most.
Well, let me ask you another question too. A little tangent. How offended are you going to be if I start putting black bars on all my shots?
I won't be offended at all. I mean, I actually encourage that. So.
All right, fair enough. Because it'll make making wallpapers a lot easier, guys. So make sure, guys, as well, that you are considering becoming a member, because we are going to unlock wallpapers. I actually got to do some research on how that works.
Yeah, if you guys like some of my shots here as your wallpaper, let me know.
Let's go through something that you can. I mean, this Venom, would this be up for a wallpaper? This particular shot? I think it's great because he's pointing at the camera, like if it's a wallpaper, it's like you have a good day.
Yeah, we want you.
So I think this one would work pretty well, man. I like that.
If someone likes this, I actually had to re-edit this shot quite a few times, because at first you couldn't really see the right side of his face, and that was kind of bugging me a lot. So I went back.
You got a good lighting on both sides of the face. Not over much, because this is a darker side. I love how you got that little touch of a rim right there.
Yeah, just a little bit of rim lighting.
I mean, and you're not trying to overcompensate and pull out too much down here where it just wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, you are lighting up this jaw on this side, which could be conceivable from this light here as a source.
Bit from that, so that's the thing, when you see a light source on screen, try and match it as best as you can. Like, hey, that's over there. It's a little bit of an orange light. Let's throw in a little bit of orange. Always.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, man. When I get my PS5, man, we're gonna be playing.
Yeah, you should definitely try that out. It's like that's the only reason why I play the game.
Now this here,
shot right.
Your Avengers look good, but Wolverine looks a little out of place to me. Not because he wasn't in the movie either, but just the lighting on him just seems a little off, comparatively speaking. Everybody else look like they look right, and then Wolverine looks like he's not quite.
Yeah, this shot was actually pretty troublesome for me to do. Shooting at 16:9, when I put the black bars on top of it, it kind of cut out quite a bit of stuff, and that was kind of bothering me, because if you look at my other shots, like the other attempt that I did, you can't see any of the ground at all, and you can't really see the top of Wolverine's face at all. So I had to do a lot of weird editing in this one. I think that might be why it looks out of place.
He just looks like he doesn't have the lighting attention to detail like you did with the other characters. He looks like he's getting the lighting like Romanoff here, but her lighting makes sense for where she's at in the frame.
Mhm.
But it's just as dull on him on the front with no real extra any kind of oomph, like no light sources. Maybe it's that light source on the camera right that I feel like should give him a little bit of rim on that camera right shoulder. Maybe that
On the
that
right,
would-
yeah. You might be right. There should be some rim lights on there. I mean, especially from the fire in the back, maybe
Yeah,
that could have. Yeah,
maybe that's what it is. I mean, you got a little bit. I'm gonna use the mouse so you see it. You got a little bit of light source here, but I think it
Yeah,
really
a little-
needed a rim light maybe of sorts.
yeah. I think would have been beneficial.
Because this light
Actually give them all
source
rim lights.
here,
Yep.
I think really needed to come into play. And there's something missing in front of him too. Like just, I don't know what or where it would come from, but just some kind of
Yeah.
outlining / harder, just a glare of some sort. Maybe some light on the claws, maybe, and then bring those up
Yeah.
with the flare, maybe. Like maybe that would do it. Just
Yeah.
something to make this pop
can
more
see that,
because
I
there's
can see
nothing
that.
on him that pops at all. He's just very,
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it any
I
further.
can see that.
Okay.
I guess
Well,
the way I was thinking, it's like this is kind of like an overcast day as well. So I was trying to get that, like
well,
really soft
you're
lighting.
thinking of this as your full light source back here, and everybody else is
Yeah,
getting here.
but
And, like
yeah, but
these
on
guys are
top
getting a
it
little
should
bit of
be-
light because of his lights on his
That's
suit.
true. That's true.
But
It's
I
also
don't
he's
know.
very reflective as well, so he
Yeah,
catches
but-
all the lights. Yeah.
The way you like Iron Man, I think, is what messes it up for Wolverine because he's got this light here,
Yeah.
right on this side, which is too far forward to be the light from back here.
Mhm.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's tying it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
That
No, you're
light
right,
there,
you're right.
and then of course he's got this light here
That's
on
true.
this side of his face
Oh,
that doesn't correlate with anything else over here.
Yeah, that's the one thing when working with reflective, figures. It's just they catch all the lights, and sometimes it just doesn't really match with what you're trying to. Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
just work harder, I guess. I don't know.
You suck. Just stop.
Double dumbass on you. Batman. I like the scene, but Batman himself needs something to bring him out just a little bit.
Okay.
Just some outlining lights, not necessarily full on light him up, but just just some definition kind of thing.
I
He's
think.
got some here on the cloak or the cape, but
Yeah, I
once you
think
get past this point,
if
it's just
you-
bleh.
if you go to the BTS really quick.
I don't think you have a
on the
BTS
right.
in this. Oh yeah, you do.
I did, yeah. So it's like a little bit of a BTS. I think there was a frame where it looked better, and then I kind of brought everything down too much. I think it's like right
There you go.
here. I think that's good, yeah. And then I kind of brought everything down.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, it's a great
keeping
shot.
that
I
one-
mean, all your stuff's great, but I'm just nitpicking right now.
No.
It's fun. It's fun to nitpick.
These are all.
I love
critiques that
this
can-
shot.
Oh, thank you.
This shot is awesome. The only
This
thing
one
that
took
pulls
me
me out of this
time.
shot is this line
It's
for the
that-
blur here.
Yeah. I see that now that you mentioned it. It's like that's
That
a little bit
definitive
much.
line of blur.
Mhm.
If it was a way to feather it so it didn't just harshly go from pretty
Yeah, I can see
solid
that.
picture here to blur, you would have had it because Spidey looks perfect. His blur and everything looks perfect. I
Mhm.
love it.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah,
of course, if you
everything's done in
focus on
post.
just his blur here, he looks perfect. But once you
Yeah, I
look
can
at
see
the
that. I can
transition
see
there,
that.
it's
Yeah, that's a bit too much. Yeah.
like a jolt
But
to
I
the
just
system.
love how, I just particularly love how the webbing turned out. That was all practical effects.
What did you use for the webbing? And then if you don't mind me asking, is it
just
saran
hot
wrap?
glue?
Oh,
Just
hot
hot
glue.
glue. Yeah, so I
On a
just
wire
took
or
out
anything,
really
or just-
thin strands. Nope, just hot glue by itself. Yeah,
Wow.
I just take out like a really thin strand of hot glue, and then I kind of just fold them a few times, and then just wrap it around Venom, like all the way up to Spider-Man.
Oh wow, that's very patient of you, sir. I don't think I could have gone.
Yeah, that
far.
took me
I
a
wasn't
while.
worried
That took me a while.
about glue getting all over my $400 hot toy.
Yeah, but then I was like, it's dried up now. I don't think it's gonna be any problem. But you're the one to
Fair
speak. You were
enough,
like,
fair
you
enough.
spent 2 weeks of painting boxes, man. That's way more dedication.
I know. All right, but that didn't hurt any hot toys. There was no hot toys hurt in that
That's
process.
true. That's true. Batfleck
This shot looks
here.
good, but the figure looks weird. It's not your shot. It's just the face, the way it's
Yeah,
sitting in the mask.
the figure went through quite a few modding procedures for sure.
Mhm.
So this is like the BVS body in a Justice League suit and a BVS cowl with a tactical Batman mouth plate. So it's like, yeah, it's like all over the place.
And he's got like a whole 40 superhero chest looking thing going on right here. This
Yeah,
chest looks very like a 40 Superman or something, you know, like that. If you seen the comic books in the 40s, how they have no real muscle definition at all. I
Yeah,
don't know
the
what
chest
that-
area is a little wonky for sure. That's why. I've
But
been
again,
looking for
nothing
the
wrong with your
BVS.
shot. Just weird shortcomings with the figure here.
These just in the collection.
I like this shot of Leto's Joker as much as I hate his Joker. I like the shot.
I know.
Much as
Like
I-
I think the
Let me go
problem was
find
just
the
that.
shot.
Yeah, it's actually with the Batman shot right there.
Oh wait,
It's a
where?
two.
Oh,
Go up, go up, up,
up or down?
Yeah, up. Sorry. So, you keep going up. You're frozen. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, right there, and it's the second shot in that post.
Yeah. All right. Well, when you see it in full size, he needs a little bit more light on his face. Not on anything
Yeah.
else. Just a little bit more on the face, I think. Just to.
I think I kind of wanted him to kind of be in the dark, but then there's too much light on the right side, so that's like
Yeah,
he
so
shouldn't
you
be in
needed-
the dark anyway.
You needed to denote some bounce onto his face some
Yeah.
more. Just bring that.
Mhm.
I kind of did it a little bit here, but maybe bring it
A
a
little
little bit more.
Yeah.
We're a little bit brighter on that.
Mhm.
And, would have
And yeah, I
blown out
just think the direction that went with him was kind of weird. So in this post, I was saying that like he kind of gives me a like Hannibal Lecter vibe, and I feel like if they went with that, I think it would have been a little bit better. I would maybe be okay with his performance.
I like him. Man. Batgirl. This is a great shot of
it's
the
a
Batgirl,
good-
considering I don't like the way they did the figure. I mean, I understand why they did the figure the way they did, so you can pose it.
Yeah.
But when you see the butt joints, it really takes you out of the
Yeah,
figure.
it
at
really
all.
does. I tried my
You did a
best to
great
hide
job
it.
of- yeah, you did a great job of hiding it and making this look legit. Pose wise, though, the only thing is this cape would have been blown up more towards your head than going up. instead of
Yeah,
coming
that's
down.
true. Yep. And I
Um,
think it's a bit too dark as well. Now that I'm looking at it.
you probably could have used a rim light here, but I don't know where the
Bit
source
rim
would
light,
have been.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
For
you
me,
got your
I'm like,
source
okay,
back
the source is
here,
on the right over there. Yep.
and this source wouldn't have been strong enough to really do anything.
Yeah,
This
that's
little
way too far
little
away.
explosion.
Yeah.
So I guess you could have made up a source or just added a light over here and had it seep into
Yeah,
the seam a
yeah.
bit, and then you could have justified a rim here.
Maybe a
But,
street light or something. Yeah.
yeah.
But
There's
that
something like
little
that.
explosion on the left did kind of light up the little wire that's coming out of the gun, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it did. It gave you a little
You can see
backlighting
the
for the
little
wire.
wire.
It was pretty nice. Sorry, I'm just staying away from that Batman because it's that Batman. Nothing personal. Who are you using for the head here on this? Is it Deadpool's head or something? Hamburger
No,
head?
that's Spidey's head. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it is. It's just very desaturated. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was
So
some
that's
bald
Spidey.
guy.
That's PS4 Spidey right there.
Oh, I thought it was a bald guy. the Spider-Man
Well, he
costume.
technically is a bald guy. Yeah.
I love the Venom here in this shot, though. Spidey needs a little bit more saturation there. Like I said,
Yeah. Like I always go for that desaturated, Zack
because his
Snyder
tongue
look
is not as
and stuff.
desaturated as his head is,
Yeah, I guess so.
so it doesn't really compute. Maybe that's what it is. And like I said, at first glance, I thought it was you literally took some bald character and put their head on the Spider-Man. And then I was like, oh wait, there's the lines because you were like, no, and I was like, wait, oh yeah, there's a little spider web line.
Spider-Man. He is technically bald.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I like your laser pointer or whatever this effect is. What is this? How'd you do that?
That's just a laser effect overlay on top of on Google. I just downloaded and I just do that on top screen.
You're able to find some ninja ass like overlay stuff, man. I type in that kind of stuff and I get like some
Really?
dude in a park, with the with a pen that has like a light up feature or something. And I'll be like, no, I want a laser pointer.
Yeah,
and I'll get a dude in
it's
an
like-
office meeting or something with a green, the complete wrong colored laser pointer.
Yeah,
Pointing
I
at stuff
type
I
it
can't cut
very
it out of.
specific. Yeah.
You need to
You
give
gotta
me
be
your
really
Google
specific
foo,
when you
man.
type.
I need to know your Google foo, man, because I'm not able to.
And if you look closely, he's got some holes on him too. I try to make it seem like he got shot from that guy on the left right there. So there are a few holes on his body. But I wasn't gonna do that practically. So.
But yeah, dude, Adobe is flipping out lately, man. Apparently there was some new update with Adobe where like 'cause I got 2 different computers with Adobe on it, and I got a license for one thing, right?
Yep.
Used to be I didn't have to be all crazy about which computer had the Adobe Creative Cloud running, but now it's like
Yeah.
your other computer's running Creative Cloud, you have to shut it off. I'm like, ugh.
Oh my god.
Like, dude, you're totally messing up my
Adobe.
workflow all because you're all like, blah blah blah.
Here we go again, Adobe with the anti-consumerism.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Hey, they should be thankful I'm not running a cracked version like I used to back in my college days.
Yeah, exactly.
They should be happy that I'm paying for it.
I don't.
Give me grief. Yeah,
Don't
you
do
get
that
a
at all.
student's license. Yeah, I know. You're a student, right? This one's a little wonky. There's nothing. I don't
Okay.
think it's you. It's just the way the lights bring out his eyes that makes this eye look like it's like at a bee sting
bulging
or
out a little
something.
bit.
It's like bulging.
Yeah, it does.
It's just the way
No,
the
maybe
figure.
the lens.
Yeah, because I mean everything's lit well. I can
Mm-hmm.
make out everything. It's just something about this side looks like it's popping out, like his eye's gonna pop out. It's
Yeah.
being held by
I
the
should have
symbiote.
just,
before it
I should've
jettisons
just
to the bottom.
liquefied it back a little. Yeah. It does look like
Any
it's bulging a
thoughts
little
as to
bit.
why it's performing like that though?
I don't know. It could be the lens. Maybe the focal length is doing that. I'm not sure.
But you see it, or is it just me? Am I like
I do see it a
hallucinating?
little bit. It could be
Okay.
just because of the lighting in the back that's making his cheek kind of disappear, maybe.
Yeah, because like this side looks like it's kind of raised up further than
Yeah,
the camera
I
left
see that a
side.
little
Then
bit.
the camera right side looks like he got punched in the face and it's like indented or something. Not like in a bad way. It's not like he's got a crater in his face from a fist. No, it's just like this side sunken in. Everything camera right.
It could be the lighting. It could be the blown out lighting in the back. Could be.
I love the lighting on this guy here. Man.
Oh,
He
thank
looks
you.
like he's in the shot, and of course the subsequent other one too with the shield, which you did all that in like Make Believe Land, right? That shield's not real at all, right?
Nope, not at all. I mean, it's just screenshot the show and cut out his arm and paste that on top. Yep.
Oh, so that
So-
shield was from the show. You didn't like
it's from the show.
freehand
Yes,
draw
yes.
that. Okay.
No. That's basically impossible to do.
It's not
I mean, I'm pretty
impossible.
sure if you spend some time, you probably can. Yeah, but I wanted it to look as closely as the show as I can. So.
Back to one of my favorites, man. I love this one.
Oh, this shot. I do like this shot quite a bit. Tricky to do though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The background at first wasn't matching Superman, so I had to go back in and mask out Superman and edit the background a little bit to make it match. That was kind of annoying.
I dropped my pen.
Oh.
I thought
Yeah,
I'd
but I
share
think
that
it worked
with
out in the
everybody.
end.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up for the night, man. Let me double check the hashtag one more time and see if anybody's
If anybody,
added it.
yeah. No, I guess not. HQ Green
I
and
have to
Mr.
read-
HQ
I have to
still the
refresh,
last.
man. Yeah, nothing new here. So
Okay.
let me double check
Got
because
some
I mean,
good stuff here, though.
if they re-hashtag something that's older, Darkwing
That's true.
Collections, that was March 6th. I'm not sure where's the rest of it. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. There's punching
Scar,
for that shot.
Predator, Hot Toy. What happened to his bicep armor piece, man? It, like, broke off, I guess. This pleather on the strap, which is horrible for that, man. It's just, it's a nightmare.
These old figures.
Yeah.
They need to reissue a lot of these Predators with like better engineering, I think.
Like they did with
It's
Wolf,
cheap.
where they only gave you one piece
Yeah.
of pleather that didn't really need to be there, but they gave it to you just so you could know the feeling of one breaking again. Bearded Nerdy Oaf, man. glad I caught you live again. Yeah, we were about to wrap it up, Bearded.
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
I'm
About to
sorry,
leave.
yeah, but we were about to. But yeah, this shot's it's pretty clean. I like the overall, it's brought out of the the background. It's pretty clean. It maybe needs a little bit more luminosity to the light though, just to kind of
Yeah.
pop it a little bit more. But I mean, the figure's lit well. It's not like you're losing anything to muddleness or anything.
Yeah.
It just to kind of bring it out from the background a little bit more though, to kind of separate it, just give it a little bit more exposure or luminosity to your whites. Let's just bring out the whites a little bit. I don't know. You have to play with the settings there. But yeah, great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, we've got some good stuff here.
Oh, awesome, Bearded. Awesome, Bearded.
Oh,
awesome.
you're here all night. Okay.
Rock on, rock on. Well, I think we're going to call it for the night. We're going to be back Friday for first appearance Friday with the Fat Batman. And I had Cigars and Bacon, who's also a pretty big comic book guy. We're going to be doing The Punisher, first appearance of The Punisher. We're going to be talking about all things Punisher Friday. So make sure you're here for that. Saturday, we'll be talking about the Ahsoka drop, of course, and the Gilgamesh announcement. What's up with that? Where did that come from?
Gilgamesh.
I mean, my God.
Everybody was
Eternals again? What
everybody was asking for it, right? So
the boat left and I wasn't on the boat. What happened?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go over that and whatever else is dropping for the week. So stay tuned for that, guys. But we'll see you. Harry, is there anything you want to add before we go, sir?
No, thank you for having me on. Thank you everybody for coming by, checking out, Mr. Moz here. Drop a like, subscribe, comment, please. Thank you.
And also become a member if you're so inclined, that we can get access to the wallpapers, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with that, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.